Illegal immigration is now the top issue in America. Both former President Trump and President Biden traveled to the border yesterday to take political shots at each other over this crisis.
Well, Biden called for Republicans to pass the Senate border bill, while Trump argued the border was secure while he was president. Brody has the story.
The operation that they showed me is nothing less than incredible. And I'll say this, it's a military operation. I mean, we have this is like a war.
Illegal border crossings are at a record high with 2.2 million apprehensions in 2023, roughly 250,000 in December alone. A new monthly record during a visit to Eagle Pass, Texas, sometimes called Illegal Pass. Former President Trump placed the blame for the crisis squarely on the current president.
But this is a Joe Biden invasion. This is a Biden invasion over the past 3 years. I call him Crooked Joe because he's crooked. He's a terrible president, the worst president our country's ever had.
300 miles away in Brownsville, Texas, President Biden called on Trump to rally Republicans on Capitol Hill to help pass a bipartisan bill worth more than $20 billion to crack down on border crossings. A bill blocked by the overwhelming majority of GOP senators once they saw what it said.
So here's what I would say to Mr. Trump. Instead of telling members of Congress to block this legislation, join me, or I'll join you, in telling the Congress to pass this bipartisan border security bill.
Biden saying the Border Patrol needs more help.
They desperately need more resources, need more agents, more officers, more judges, more equipment in order to secure our border.
Conservatives point out the president has worked to repeal Trump's border policies in lieu of what Biden called more humane ones, specifically ending the Remain in Mexico policy and others, which they warned would likely lead to a crisis. And Thursday, Trump talked how Georgia student Laken Riley was killed by an illegal immigrant and other criminal actions by illegals.
Spoke to the parents of an incredible young lady, and you saw her the other day. You saw what happened the other day in Georgia, and the parents are devastated.
57% of registered voters say Trump would do a better job of securing the border in an NBC poll, compared to 22% for Biden. Meanwhile, as Trump and Biden talked about the border crisis, a federal judge in Texas blocked a new law that would give police broad powers to arrest migrants suspected of illegal entering the U.S. The Texas Attorney General's office reportedly appealed that ruling immediately. And for Trump, a surprise, as he ran into evangelist Franklin Graham while on a runway in Texas. Graham is on an evangelistic tour along the border. Biden's visit is strategically positioned before the State of the Union address, aiming to maximize political impact and draw a stark contrast with Trump's immigration stance. However, the administration's approach to this crisis is once again under fire from Republicans after the White House referred to illegal immigrants simply as newcomers. Brody, CBN News.
Thank you, Brody. Well, for President Biden, it may be perceived as too little too late. And if you are into American politics, you had a good time watching Trump and Biden throw jabs at each other from 300 miles away. And more than likely, we will see them on the debate stage together not too far off, and that will be